brings me closer, baby, closer to you.
And with each beat of my heart, for every day we apart, I'll hunger for every wasted hour.
And every night and every day, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you. Look out, 'cause I'm gonna get you. And I'm gonna make you love me. Oh, oh,
I want to dedicate this song to all the lovers tonight.